The pine trees loomed tall and silent, their branches heavy with the weight of fog and forgotten memories. The air smelled of wet earth and the faint tang of something metallic. 5 teenagers, Alex, Mia, Jordan, Tyler, and Lena, stood on the edge of Pine Hollow, their flashlights flickering in the twilight. "You seriously think it's haunted?" Tyler asked, smirking as he nudged Alex. Alex shrugged. "Only one way to find out." They were dared to enter the woods and spend the night near the old White House. A local legend claimed the house was cursed, the last known residents having vanished without a trace 50 years ago. The hollow had swallowed them whole, or so the stories went. Laughing nervously, they stepped into the forest. The deeper they went, the quieter it became. No birds, no wind, just the sound of their own breath and boots crunching leaves. Then came the whispers, soft and urgent, as if the trees themselves were gossiping. Mia froze. "Did you hear that?" "It's just the wind," Jordan said, but he didn't sound convinced. They continued, but now every shadow looked like a figure, every tree a lurking shape. The White House emerged from the mist like a memory. Blackened wood, broken windows, a collapsed porch. The door was ajar, creaking on its hinges. They stepped inside. Dust hung in the air. Old furniture sat covered in sheets, some of them stained. A child's toy lay forgotten in the hall. "Creepy as hell," Lena whispered. Alex moved toward the staircase, flashlight trembling in his hand. Upstairs, the light from Alex's torch caught a pair of eyes in the dark, yellow, unblinking. He stumbled back, but when the others looked, there was nothing there. Downstairs, the wind howled through broken glass. A mirror cracked on its own. A shadow darted past the window. Whatever was in the house knew they had arrived. On the second floor, a door stood shut with rusted iron locks. Scratched into the wood, "Do not open. Ever." Tyler, naturally defiant, tried to pick the lock. But when he touched the handle, it burned him. He screamed, the skin on his palm blistering. The others pulled him away. The house growled. Not creaked, growled. The next morning, Tyler's arm had strange markings, symbols none of them recognized. They bled but didn't hurt. Mia took photos, planning to look them up later. "We need to leave," Lena said. "Now." But the forest had changed. The path they took in was gone, replaced with more woods, thick and tangled. They found a box in the basement, a sealed wooden thing covered in runes. Against better judgment, Alex took it. As soon as they left the house with it, the whispers grew louder. The trees shook without wind. Something followed them. That night, they all had the same dream. A girl in a white dress stood in the hallway of the White House, screaming silently. Her mouth was open too wide, her eyes pure black. Each of them woke up screaming. Jordan went to gather firewood. He never came back. They found his flashlight, still on, and a trail of blood leading to a tree that had grown twisted and black. His phone rang in Alex's backpack. The screen showed Jordan's name. He answered. Static. Then Jordan's voice, "Don't trust the mirrors." That night, Jordan's body was found hanging upside down in the trees. But his face was wrong. It was smiling, sewn into a grin. They buried him. The next day, the grave was empty. And something had left deep claw marks around the camp. Old newspaper clippings in a hidden drawer told of a series of disappearances tied to the White family. Children. Animals. A town that had tried to forget. They worshipped something, Mia said. And I think it lives in this forest. While trying to clean the cracked mirror in one of the upstairs bedrooms, Mia gasped. Her reflection lingered a second too long, and blinked when she hadn't. Its mouth stretched slowly into a grin. Tyler entered behind her. "You okay?" She turned. "That mirror. It copied me wrong." He looked. The reflection now showed both of them, normal. But as they left, the mirror cracked further, on its own. Alex found a hatch under the floorboards. Beneath it, a staircase led to a cellar filled with roots piercing through the stone. Bones lined the walls. Strange glyphs were painted in what looked like blood. In the corner sat a small child's shoe, old, muddy, and stained. "This place isn't just haunted," Lena muttered. "It's feeding." They decided to leave for good. But as they walked back to the road, it never came. Hours passed. The sun refused to rise. They circled back, to the White House. "It moved," Alex said. "It followed us." No one argued. That night, something walked just outside their tents. Tall, hunched, and pale-skinned, it didn't breathe. When Mia peeked through the zipper, it vanished, but left claw marks in the dirt. They heard it whisper, over and over, "I remember you." Tyler grew quieter each day. He wouldn't eat. Wouldn't blink. One night, he stood facing the trees for hours, muttering in a voice too deep to be his. "They're not dead. They're sleeping inside the trees." They tied him up. He smiled the whole time. Hidden beneath the fireplace, they found another room, a stone circle filled with candles, ancient carvings, and a book bound in human skin. In the middle, a name was burned into the ground, Marjorie White. In the attic, Mia found torn pages of Marjorie's journal. She was a child when the rituals began. Her family offered blood to something called the Hollow, an entity beneath the forest. "I wanted to stop them," one entry read. "But I was only a girl. And now it's inside me." That night, 2 moons appeared, one red, one pale blue. The trees groaned. Time slowed. Shadows moved on their own. "When the moons align, the hollow walks," Mia whispered, reading from the journal. And the red moon began to rise. Tyler escaped. They found his restraints cut clean through. Only his voice remained, echoing between the trees. "One by one. Just like they did to me." Lena sobbed. Alex stared at the stars. Mia clutched the journal. The forest watched, and waited. A pit opened behind the White House, pulsing with black mist. They heard chanting in a language they didn't know. The air turned bitter cold. "It's awake," Mia said. Driven by desperation, the trio descended into the pit. The world changed around them. Trees bent backward. The sky was blood red. Shadows walked without bodies. They were inside the hollow. They saw themselves, doubles twisted by hate and hunger. The hollow revealed their secrets, their fears, their guilt. Lena saw her dead sister smiling with black eyes. The White House existed here too, but it breathed. Its walls pulsed. The floors moved like muscles. They entered. And it closed behind them. Tyler returned, or something that looked like him. His smile was stitched wide. He spoke with 100 voices. "Join us. Or feed us." A massive tree inside the hollow dripped with blood. Faces grew from its bark. Marjorie's journal said this was the hollow's heart. They had to destroy it. Marjorie appeared. Her skin was bark. Her eyes, flame. "You will not stop the cycle." She raised her hand. Shadows surged. They learned the truth, the Whites made a pact. Power for sacrifice. But the pact was broken, and the hollow grew hungrier. Lena was the key to sealing it. They fled the hollow, using the blood from the tree to mark a way out. Time bent, and they emerged, days older, changed. Lena bore a mark on her back, roots shaped like eyes. She heard whispers even awake. The hollow had followed her. Fires broke out across the forest, without smoke. Trees screamed. The hollow was waking. Mia disappeared for a moment, then returned aged. Time was splitting. "We don't have long," she said. Elias White returned, a boy of 10, smiling with rotted teeth. "I was never gone," he said. They found a clearing with 100 bones. Children, animals. Lena's sister among them. She screamed until her throat tore. An old woman in the woods offered a knife. Blood binds. Blood freeze. Sacrifice, or the hollow will consume the world. 2 moons aligned. The wind stopped. The world turned red. A creature wore Mia's face and fooled them for hours. Only Lena sensed the difference. She stabbed it. It dissolved into rot. They attempted the ritual. Mia volunteered. She bled into the roots. But it wasn't enough. The hollow wanted Lena. The pact was hers to complete. She wept, but accepted it. Alex begged her to stop. Lena hesitated. The hollow erupted. The world cracked. Elias laughed. The White House split open. Roots and shadows formed a monstrous god. The hollow had fully awoken. It flickered across space, warping time and towns. Rot followed. People vanished or returned hollow-eyed. Madness spread. The hollow fed. A final rite. A vessel. Lena was the only option. Mia begged her not to do it. Marjorie hovered over a pit, screaming eternally. I was the first. Lena will be the last. Lena opened her veins. The hollow shrieked, but demanded her soul. She stepped forward. She let it take her. Light burst. The White House collapsed. The hollow was silenced. Only Alex and Mia crawled from the woods. Changed. Haunted. They never spoke of it. A year later, nature reclaimed the site. No one remembered. But some heard weeping at night. New kids stared each other into Pine Hollow. The trees shifted. Shadow smiled. The hollow never forgets.